Hi everyone, Forrest here with Honey Pots, Zone 5. It is December and it's a pretty day out, but today I've got to go and get my paint so I can get started in my kitchen. Okay, let's get going here. I've been going through the seed catalogs, having a good time, figuring out what I want to order from them as to compared to what I already have. You know I like to shop myself first. So, went ahead and did that, and there are some new things I want to try. I talked to you guys about adding the buckets and putting melons in there and some squash, so I've been having a little bit of fun picking some things out and then doing some things that we just eat a lot of, like butternut squash. We do eat a lot of butternut squash, so I'm going to get some of that and get some of that going. What I do is I go through all my catalogs and then I'll narrow it down. I don't want to order from 4 different places and pay 4 different shippings on seeds because it can get quite expensive doing that. So what I'll do is the one that I have the least amount from, I'll go to the other places I'm looking at and see if they offer those to me, which they did in this case. And I had to cut Annie's out this year, so I'm not too thrilled about that. I like to shop at Annie's. I've been with Annie's a long time, but the other places are offering some different things, and I'm to the point where I'm collecting seeds, so I want to try some rare and funky things, or I also want to support my other YouTubers that are trying to make a go of it out there with their gardens, and one of them is offering up seeds, which is MI Garden, and his seeds are only 99 cents a packet. He's local here. The idea of buying something, my seeds local, is really good for me because they were grown in my zone. They obviously worked for him, and he collected the seeds here in my area. I think he's in my zone. I'm not sure. We're in the same state, so he's pretty close. At MI Garden, they offer the Abe Lincoln seeds. So does Annie. And I told you guys about the tomato. It's a tomato called Abe Lincoln. And I really like it. It's really close to the Brandywine, and it's not as fussy, and it doesn't have as many problems as the Brandywine did for me. I grew it one year, forgot about it, and it reseeded itself in my garden, and it came back with a fury, and that's what I ate off of last year mainly, because a lot of the other ones that I grew had a lot of end rot and had some splitting when we got a ton of rain at the end of the summer. So, and the Abe Lincolns didn't do that. So I want to grow some Abe tomatoes this year. They're probably going to be my main tomato. They're not as big as a Brandywine, but they're like a good size eating tomato. I'll share my tomatoes with you in a video this spring. So, but I don't need to order any Abe Lincolns. I have some seed left, and I'll be collecting seed this year. I'm checking them to see if they're viable right now. If they're not, I'll go ahead and order them from MI Gardener. But on MI Gardener, I'm going to try the Tigger melons, which look really cool. They're orange and yellow striped, and they're small. And you guys know I'm putting the trellises up in the vegetable garden, so I want something small that will hang and not the weight of it won't be a big issue, even though I'm going to get some mesh to hold them up with. Aunt Molly's ground cherries. I've heard about these in other people who are doing videos, and they're just loving them, and they're getting great reviews online too. So I want to try those just for fun. Savoy cabbage, lemon mint, spaghetti squash, Alyssa Craig onions. What I'm saying right now is all I'm getting from MI Garden. He has a ton of seeds, by the way. And I'm getting these because they have a long shelf life, and I'm going to have a canning room downstairs in my basement, and I'm going to store some of my root vegetables, but they have a really long shelf life, and they get to be a pretty good size onion, so I want to try those. Tommy Toe tomatoes. They're like these little itty bitty, not even a bite-sized tomato, and I thought they would just be fun to give those a shot. Where I'm going to plant them at, I don't know. Maybe I'll use one of my red buckets. Maybe I need to get more red buckets. The Tabasco pepper I want to grow, and that's strictly for looks, because I think they're a really pretty plant, and I'm going to grow them out in my perennial borders out front. I like red, so I plant a lot of red flowers outside, and I think they would really add to it. They're the ones that you see that the peppers are poking up all over the plant, and they're in the yellow, orange, and red color. They're really pretty. And you can eat them. That's where Tabasco sauce comes from, are those plants. So, you know, maybe I'll get adventurous, which I usually am, and I'll make my own Tabasco sauce. It sounds like something right up my alley. It really does. Let's see. Waltham butternut squash, which is just a butternut squash, and early white bush scallop squash, and those are kind of like the patty pan squashes. They're kind of flat and ruffly along the edge. I haven't grown them, but my grandmother used to, and she used to cook them for us. She was a southerner, so it was like all fried and breaded. Everything was. The okra, and oh my god, it was good though. And then sweet dumpling winter squash, which is like a really pretty squash. It's like this round ball, and it's green and white and a little bit of orange in there, and it's supposed to be really, really, really sweet and yummy. The other place I'm ordering from is Baker Creek, and I'll be able to show you guys some pictures with this one. They have some really cool things. The only thing that I'm getting from them, well, there's two things I'm going to get from them. I'm going to get these berries right here. They're called Aronia Viking. They have like this really sweet and tasty fruit, which is really supposed to be good for you. And you know me, I'm always into things that are good for me. Want to be around a long, long time so I can irritate the heck out of my kids. But those will be live plants from Baker Creek. The next thing I'm going to order from them are the goji berries. These are seeds, and those will be planted in the front yard too. They are a shrub, and they can get pretty big. I think 6 feet, 6 to 8 feet. And I want to get, you got their cute little girl in here, noodle beans. I think those are the coolest looking things. I've seen them on some of the videos, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to grow those. Just how cool they look. And we love beans. I always make like big pots of beans and potatoes, and I never seem to make enough. Never. We eat a lot of vegetarian meals, and that's one of our favorites. The next thing I want to try out are these ruby red Brussels sprouts. Don't they look yummy? But they'll do really well here because they're, you know, really good with the cold. And Brussels sprouts do better once they get into the cooler season in the fall. And they're just a lot sweeter and tastier. Let's see, where am I at here? Oh, those ground cherries that I'm going to get from M.I. Gardener. Those are the ground cherries. And they're supposed to be like a tomato, a husk. Berry tomato like thing. I don't know. Yeah, I've got all my tabby things in here. So this right here is the Kajari melon. Doesn't that look cool? I've seen a lot of video people put this out, and they grew them on trellises, and they look really good too. I already have these seeds. I don't know when I planted them. It may have been down in Georgia. A Golden Perfection melon. So I want to give that a shot too, because it's always nice, especially in the summer, to have like a nice cool melon to go with whatever you're having for dinner or just as a snack. Sometimes I just do it for lunch. And I also found these really cool radishes. They're called Chinese red meat. Aren't those amazing looking? So, I mean, I could order just regular radishes from anyone else, but those look so cool, and I wanted to give them a shot and see how they looked. I bet they're great to photograph. All right, and these blue gold berries, these are tomatoes. They're a small, like, salad-eating tomato. I eat a lot of salads, so I'll like those chopped up, and they've gotten really good reviews, too. I want to give those a shot, and they're really pretty. I heard they're pretty prolific too. And then I'm going to order some feverfew. It's supposed to be really good for migraines. I do take the caplets. I just started taking them, and I'm going to see how it goes. But I I find it's better if I get my medicine from the vegetable or fruit itself, and just eating better. I've done a lot better. And the same with valerian here. The root is what you will take. It would be the valerian. I don't know. I might be able to eat the leaves. I'll have to find out more about that. That's also for migraines. So those are what I'm going to order this year. I've checked off my list of things that I wanted and thought would be fun, and I found them all, and I'm going to order them. And then when that box comes in, I will do another video for you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, put those down there too. I have some other places where you guys can find me on my Instagram and my Facebook. I'll share that with you down in comments. You guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.